we are talking about natural solutions for mental well-being. I have a really special guest with me today. She is a nurse practitioner. She's been a nurse for 8 years and then just became a nurse practitioner a little over 2 years ago. So I'm so excited to bring Logan Yosten with me, to have her with me today and sharing her insight on why a nurse practitioner would lock arms with the mental wellness company. So thank you so much for being with me here today. I know you're a busy, busy lady, and I appreciate your time. So I love this topic because I see so many people that are struggling with stress and low mood and low energy. They're not sleeping, and the pharmaceutical end can be a little slippery slope. There's a lot of side effects, and I know you're well aware of that. And you had a lot of anxiety yourself, you shared with me. And I can imagine why. If you're seeing many, many patients every day, it's stressful, right?
Right.
We're under a lot of stress. So give us an idea of why you decided to lock arms with the mental wellness company. What are the advantages? What did you see in your research when you were looking at our protocols?
So it was about 6 months ago, and I was struggling, like you said, and I was introduced to it by my business partner and my friend, and it was like, I've got nothing to lose, so might as well try it. And so I was stressed out. I was crying a lot. I was very snappy, and I was not sleeping good, and my gut health was horrible. So
Wow.
you put all that together and you don't have a very good cocktail to be able to take care of other people. I started it, and looking back, I think within a couple of days, I started to notice change. Took me 2 weeks to admit that. About 2 months for my husband of 10 years to tell me that he noticed a change. So, I love the products. I love that it's a natural option, like you said, with no side effects. And I tell people all the time, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if it helps, then like what a better life.
So, so what do you see? Like, what's the majority of people that come into your practice? So you have a family practice of
Right.
private
And
practice.
young adult to geriatric, honestly. We see all age ranges and kids too as well. A lot of times they'll come in. Sometimes they say they have anxiety, depression. Sometimes they're there for gut issues. Sometimes they're there because they have headaches and can't sleep. And then when we start talking and we get to the root of the issue, like, this is a really good option to be able to provide them. I like that it is backed by research because I am a little bit of a nerd. And so I like that I can have confidence in telling patients these are clean products. You're not taking junk. And I know they personally work, and I see them work across the board for patients too. So
That's amazing. So when your patients come in and they, like you said, they either present with, I'm depressed, I'm really low mood, I'm not sleeping, or they maybe come in and say, oh, my stomach is all messed up, this or that. Like we were talking about this earlier, that they don't necessarily make the gut brain connection, right? Can
yeah.
you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, when patients are like, or and I tell patients this too, like that whole gut feeling is not hocus pocus, like you think with your gut. And if there's a disconnect in that communication with whether it be because of stress, because of the food you're eating, a combination of all of the above, you got to heal both. You got to heal one to heal the other.
Right. Like
So,
they're so connected.
right. And so, being able to add like the happy juice pack, that's an easy thing to add in the day and do one change like at a time, because you can't overwhelm everybody too. So it's nice that you can do that and start your day with it, and patients love an easy option.
Right, right. Without side effects, right?
Right.
So what would you say is like the main thing that people experience right like out of the gates kind of? Or I know this is not a quick fix. This is something where
Right.
we're healing, but
Mhm.
some of the things that you notice like them changes that subtly will happen along the way.
Right.
What are,
I had somebody tell me the other day they had been on it. They were about 2 weeks in, and they were like, I don't know what got into me. Like, I was cleaning out the back shed. We've been living in this house for 3 years and I haven't touched that shed. She's like, I'm sleeping better. I've got just like more motivation to get stuff done. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's part of it.
wow, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like, oh, I'm finally getting stuff done that's been on my to-do list for years. That's kind of like the number one thing. And not crying every day, that's a huge, huge thing that starts that I see early on, you know.
So I think the motivation thing is because of that boost in dopamine, right?
Mhm.
This is
Yeah,
dopamine, one of those neurotransmitters that's like for
absolutely.
motivation and
Mhm.
getting stuff done. And then the energy piece would come from what, like scientifically in our system, would you say, in the protocol?
Well, energy, we have the energy option that goes in with the happy juice. I definitely think
Okay.
that is helping. But
Mhm.
too, if you're not like doubled over in it with abdominal pain and the
Mhm.
antibiotics are taking that
Mhm.
option or taking that opportunity, then you're going to kind of just see that boost. I mean, from everything really, but I guess
Right.
those two specifically.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it covers a lot of the bases, right? The happy
Mhm.
juice alone, just the
Yes.
gut, the brain, everything.
Yeah.
Just motivation, the sleep, the energy. And I think even if we just address one thing, like sleep is huge, right?
Right.
And digestion. So if your digestion is better, you're absorbing nutrients better, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And more regular and that whole thing, like the
Right.
constipation thing is pretty common for people, which I don't think they realize like how that can totally mess with your mental and physical well-being.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. In terms of like when your patients come in, do you offer either a pharmaceutical or a natural solution? Like how does that work and how many people are like open to trying the natural solution?
You know, we see anywhere between like 25 and 40-ish patients a day, depending on
Wow.
the day.
Mhm.
I bet half of them we end up talking about anxiety or depression or sleep or gut, some at least half, if not all of them.
Mhm.
I think a good percentage, I mean, I'm throw that out there. It's like 75% probably are open to the natural option. And basically because they're desperate to feel better. And if I can give them an option that's going to do that and it's not going to give them horrible side effects, then they're ready for it. So I think a lot of people in my patient population are open to that.
That's fantastic. I love it. So you're working with all ages, like teens through
Mhm.
geriatric, you said, which is
Yes.
awesome. So I am so honored to have you on this call, but also to have you lock arms with us, with
Yeah.
Amare Global. It seems like we're bringing on a lot more practitioners, like every
Mhm.
single day. So
Yeah.
you were introduced from another practitioner, so
Yes.
that's cool. So now we
Yes.
have like this thing going on the team, right? Where we have a lot of practitioners coming on,
Yeah.
which which is awesome because your patients trust you.
Right.
They know that you wouldn't steer them in the wrong direction. And
Right.
so we get to impact so many more lives because of
Mhm.
you guys being on board with us
Right.
and trusting us and knowing the science and being willing to share that with your
Mhm.
patients. So I personally thank you. I
Yeah,
think
thank
the
you.
world thanks you. The families thank you. So again, any last words?
I'm just so happy that you had me on. This was wonderful. So
Yeah.
as many people as we can tell about it and
Mhm.
serve, that's the goal. So
That's it. That's it. And when you impact anyone in the family unit, you impact that entire family unit.
absolutely.
And it's so cool that your husband was like, "Wow,
Yeah, no.
you're different."
He's a typical man. He's not gonna say much, but he's like, "Oh yeah, you're a lot better. You're not crying all the time."
I
So
love it. I love it. So you can reach more people like you said in the beginning, like you got to fill your cup so you can help other people.
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the message like that I want to share so much with moms because they put themselves on the back burner because they want to take care of their kid, but you taking care of you is taking care of your kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
without
Yeah.
a doubt. All right. Well, Logan, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And it was great to meet you in
Yes,
at conference several
absolutely.
months ago. And
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you again. And thank you
Yes.
for all the work you do. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
No
All right.
problem. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.